If you're not getting the answers you need when it comes to your health, you may need to find a new physician. Joining me now in this sponsored interview is Dr. Josh Redd from RedRiver Health and Wellness to share how he can help. First of all, welcome back, my friend.
It has been a while since being here. You guys have helped RedRiver so much. We love GTU. It's good to be back.
Well, it's good to have you back. And I think for so many people out there, so many of our viewers, you feel crazy, you feel frustrated, you have these symptoms. And sometimes it feels like no one's listening, no one gets it.
Yeah, we see a ton of patients where they just don't feel good at all. They think they're older, or that it's because they have multiple kids, or because they have busy lives. And in reality, it's none of those things. It's just that nobody is getting to the mechanism of why they feel bad, right? It can be really frustrating. We have lots of patients that feel like they're at their wits' end just trying to find help and can't get any answers.
And what are they suffering from? What symptoms?
Well, the most common symptoms that we'll see will be depression, fatigue, weight gain, headaches, hair loss, brain fog, intestinal issues. There's a ton of symptoms. A lot of the conditions that we see are driven by inflammation, and so it creates a lot of different symptoms and components. It's not just one isolated thing. And that's where a lot of patients feel like they're crazy, because they have all these different issues, but their lab test may seem fine to a standard doctor or whatever that may be, and it can be really frustrating.
Well, and then they get a Band-Aid and it doesn't work, and the frustration continues.
Yeah.
What do you do at RedRiver that's different?
Well, for us, we want to make sure that we don't neglect the patient. We want to find any possible imbalance from a medical standpoint of why that patient is struggling. So if somebody has Hashimoto's, for example, what are the mechanisms driving Hashimoto's, which is the most common cause of low thyroid? Or if somebody has an autoimmune disease, or if they have any type of severe issue that nobody's able to figure out, our whole goal is to do the proper medical tests, really sit and listen to the patient and figure out what is driving that patient's symptoms and issues. Sometimes that might take an hour, right? And a lot of doctors now don't have that time to do it. And so it can be really complicated. It can be it can be an extensive process, but for us, it's important because that's what you have to do to get the patient back on track.
I sent a friend of mine to you years ago. You've been doing this, by the way, now 14 years. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago. She was at her wit's end, turned her life around. I'm sure that's not the only patient testimonial that you hear.
No, we have the best job in the world. There's no questions about it. We had a patient who was so sick, her son was asked to draw a picture of her at school, and he drew a picture of her in bed, because that's how he knew his mom, right? I mean, so these types of situations we see every single day in our office, and it's by far the best thing in the world. We love our job. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm sure you hear positive feedback like that all the time. Even Bree, who was on our show, went through the program.
Yeah, I mean, being here at GTU right now is kind of a surreal moment for me,
right?
Just because you guys helped us out so much. We had Bree, Michelle.
I forgot Michelle did the program too.
We had so many different producers that were our patients and did really good. And really, GTU is a huge reason of why RedRiver is where it's at today.
But Dr. Redd, so many people that I think a lot of us care about are dealing with these issues that they just can't put their finger on, and they don't go away. And so I think what you're telling our viewers right now is there is hope out there. If you've struggled and gone everywhere, there are answers.
Yes, there's so many things that can be done. It's just doing the right tests, getting the right answers, and working on the right things to really help the patient improve and feel better, and that's what we do.
How many locations do you have now?
We have soon to be 8 locations. In Utah, we have St. George, South Jordan, Springville, Logan, and soon to be Farmington. So,
congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you. You've grown since I've seen you.
You guys have been a huge part of it.
But there's a need. There's a need out there, and that's why the growth. So make sure, everybody, you go to our website to find out more about RedRiver Health and Wellness. Their website will be there, and you can go. If you have questions, they have answers, and I know Dr. Redd will absolutely take care of you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
And our thanks to RedRiver Health and Wellness for this sponsored interview. We are back after this.